Back to follow-up segment tonight. Last night, we talked with the head of the Council on American Islamic Relations about the Ground Zero mosque controversy, and he said this.
The insensitivity is smokescreen for bigotry. The main organizer of the protest against the Islamic Cultural Center is Pamela Geller. She has on her website images of the Prophet with urine on his head.
Well, after hearing that, Ms. Geller called and asked for equal time. She joins us now and is the author of the book, The Post-American Presidency, the Obama Administration's War on America. Well, I don't think you are leading the charge against this mosque, are you? You're just one of the people opposed to it.
I'm one of the people opposed to it, a great many people.
And on your website, you posted a Draw Mohammed Day. Is that what was?
If I could give a little background on that?
Yeah, real quick.
Okay. As you know, cartoonists have been targeted with death threats. Lars Vilks, his house was set on fire. Kurt Vestergaard, and the Comedy Central producers, as you know, were targeted as with a death threat because of the Huggy Bear Muhammad. And so an unknown columnist and cartoonist in Seattle said, everybody draw Muhammad Day. And so it became viral on the net. Mark Stein wrote about it, Brad Thor supported it, and on May 20th, it was Everybody Draw Muhammad Day. Tens of thousands of people drew Muhammad, and we all ran it on the net. Why? Because we felt that you couldn't kill everybody. You couldn't target everybody.
And there were a lot of cartoons that were offensive to Muslims in this Draw Mohammed deal.
Yes.
That's what he's talking about there.
That's what he's talking about there. But
okay.
Yeah.
All right. So he says that you're one of the leaders and you're bigoted against Muslims, and this is why you object to the mosque.
And this is patently untrue. I love Muslims. The Ground Zero Mosque is an offensive insult. It's a stab in the eye. I have no problem with mosques across the city. But we're talking about history, an Islamic history of building triumphal mosques on the cherished sites of conquered lands. And pointing out the dishonesty and the subversion is not bigotry or racism. It's a way of shutting people up. Because if you're called a racist, nobody wants to be called a racist.
So you're going back to Saladin and the Muslim marauders who, when they conquered territory, built mosques in Thanksgiving of their victories. That's where you're going back to?
No, I'm going back to, first of all, CARE was named a co-conspirator in the largest...
Wait, but you made a statement that said that Muslims have a history of building mosques on conquered territory. I gave you an example of, and that is true, that they do, but you're correlating this and saying that the reason the Muslim community wants the World Trade Center mosque is to celebrate their victory there. That's what you just said.
I don't think the Muslim community wants it. I think that Islamic supremacists wants it. I think that if you look at Jewish history, the holiest site is the first temple, the Temple Mount. They built a temple on top of, a mosque on top of the Temple Dome of the Rock.
So you think it is generated then by Muslim extremists? By jihadists, by people who want a caliphate.
By Islamic supremacists. And I do not believe that...
Now, do you have any proof of that?
Well, we know that the imam has been dishonest.
He's a very, very staunch Muslim, that's for sure. I don't know about being dishonest.
Well, he's been dishonest about the funding. First, he said there was no foreign funding. We know he's in Malaysia right now. Right. But you know, he's a prominent member in the Pradana organization.
Do you think that this guy's a terrorist?
I think he's tied to terror. He was the largest. He was a prominent member in Pradana.
So you think that the goal of this mosque is to build it as a triumph?
A victory mosque.
Really?
Yeah.
That's what you believe?
Yes. Well, if you let me...
And they CARE and all that, they're all in on it?
CARE were named co-conspirators in the
Holy Land. Sure, everybody knows that.
Their leadership has been convicted of terror. Omar Ahmed and Niwad Awa were at a planning meeting for Hamas to fund terror activities. Their leadership has been convicted of terror.
Right, but I just want to be clear. So you believe that this mosque deal is a blatant attempt to put a victory mosque on the site of the attack on 9/11.
Let's take him at his word. Let's take him at his word. Imam Raouf, who said it's outreach, who said it's healing. It's had the opposite effect.
It has.
So if that was the case, why not withdraw it?
That's what I said yesterday.
I agree with you.
If that's the case, listen, the Muslim community would gain a lot of goodwill by saying, we understand, we sympathize, so we're going to just draw it back and do the mosque someplace else. But I'm not entirely sure of the in your face, we want to put a victory thing
Listen,
there.
why not put, if you're going to put a mosque looking down on the sacred ground of Ground Zero where they're still finding human remains, why not put a church in there and a synagogue?
Well, that's what Newt Gingrich said. I think that'd be a good idea.
Or why not, how about that there's no mosque at all and it's just a community center like the 92nd Street Y that doesn't have a synagogue, or the YWCA.
All of those things I think should be considered. Ms. Geller, I got to run. Thanks for coming in. We appreciate it.
Thank you for giving me an opportunity.